This is Steve Robbins. Welcome to the Get It Done Guys quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. Hey, it's that time of year again. Apple just released a new set of iPhones and iOS and everyone's going bonkers. Oh my gosh, this is the next big thing. 4.7 inches. That's big. Of course, we said it was the next big thing last year too. And the year before. And the year before that and so on. Probably until back before most of you were born. And even though this new device will finally make our lives perfect, well, we thought that about the last device. We thought the amazing new iPhone touchscreen from iPhone 1 would make our lives perfect. And it didn't. Size matters, but not when it comes to electronic screens. Since I've been in high tech, we have revolutionized business. Business productivity is at an all-time high. But for those of us who aren't businesses, technology rarely delivers true increases in happiness or quality of life. I work more hours, have less vacation, fewer in-person friends, and less substantive conversations than I used to. I blame technology for most of it. You see, my charmingly curmudgeonly attitude comes from one simple fact. I actually pay attention to whether or not technology delivers on its promise. Technology is killing your brain. We have data on the effects of technology. The marketing departments of Silicon Valley want you to believe that technology gives us amazing new powers. It frees up parts of our brain, which then make us mental giants. Wrong. They're lying. Research shows more and more that technology is destroying our ability to think. It is not freeing up parts of our brain to do grand new things. If you think about it, that logic was always silly. If you don't use your legs, they don't suddenly turn into wings just because you're not using them for walking. They atrophy. And the parts of your brain that are being displaced by technology aren't giving you telepathy and the power to levitate things with your mind. They're giving you dementia. We are literally making ourselves stupider by using technology. Let's review. If you rely too much on GPS, your ability to navigate via mental maps deteriorates and goes away. If you take notes on a laptop or tablet, your retention and integration of the material will be far less than if you take notes, even incomplete, messy ones, with a pad and paper. Reading ebooks from a screen instead of physical books decreases your memory of what you've read. And when you take smartphone pictures to capture memories, your brain doesn't bother to encode the picture in your own visual memory. It assumes that the phone did it for you. Multitasking, supposedly the most requested feature for the iPhone, is worst of all. It degrades cognitive functioning along every dimension measured. And the first thing to go is the ability to assess whether or not your cognition is being degraded. I've consciously decided not to link to the studies that support what I just said in the previous paragraph. Use Google. Do the research yourself instead of having someone hand you the links. You'll find the studies, they're all there. Having Google available has led surprisingly few of us to bother using the internet to verify or research things. It's almost as if our brains assume that because the world's knowledge is easily accessible at our fingertips, that we don't actually have to use it. We somehow magically already have it available. That actual little detail of looking it up, reading and understanding it seems so unnecessary. Find out the truth about your technology. Today's episode is a challenge to learn whether or not your technology is really working for you. Make a list of the technology that you use, the stuff you use most often. Don't just list my computer or my smartphone. List the specific applications you use and what you think you use them for. For example, I use a Markdown-based text editor, text messaging, an email program, and several websites. Also, a to-do list Facebook and another social app that we don't talk about in polite company. Next to each app, write down the benefit that you believe it gives you. Treat your web browser as a platform, not as an app, so write down the main websites you visit. For example, my Markdown-based editor, the benefit is faster writing and editing formatting text. My text messages, the benefit is coordinating better with friends. My email program, the benefit is exchanging important information with friends and colleagues. My NewYorkTimes.com subscription, the benefit is getting educated about the world. Great. Now, do a real test. Stop for a week. That's right. Suspend your use of technology. Live without the technology for a week. You may have to create some new systems, like having someone else triage your email and reply for you, and it may take a couple of days for you to figure out how to do some of those tasks on paper. You may need to ask someone over 40 what a, quote, little black book, unquote, is. But I assure you, most of what you need done was done by hand for decades, if not centuries. Yes, if your job is editing video on computer, you will need to spend some time in your video editing program, even during this test, but do as much of the rest as possible offline. Then at the end of the week, evaluate whether your technology is actually delivering the benefits you believe that it's delivering. Here's what I found. My text editor. Yes, I do in fact write and edit faster. So using technology wins. Yay! Text messages. Well, nice for pinging close friends, and it's made meeting people harder, actually, since planning ahead really works quite well. The results here are mixed. Texts are great for pinging close friends when I don't have time for phone call, but planning wins for meeting up. Email. Seriously, it's the hugest time waster there is. It's a stress inducer, and it causes the urgent to crowd out the important. It is much slower than using the phone most of the time. Pretty much along every dimension, email loses, interestingly enough, except for the fact that it can be asynchronous, which means that I can pick it up when I want to. Interesting benefit, given all of the downsides. NewYorkTimes.com? Well, you know what? It's good for a few headlines and targeted news. I find when I use the physical paper, I end up reading in much greater detail, longer, about things that I wasn't specifically looking for and learning more about the world. So, actually, paper wins. So sometimes apps are better, sometimes paper's better. But I'm not just guessing. I'm actually trying both to find the pros and cons. I've also tested my calendar, my task list, my project management software, Facebook, and that social app that we don't mention in polite company. You'd be surprised which ones live up to their promise when deliberately evaluated and which ones don't. And this is just me evaluating my technology based on the benefits I think it's giving me. If I take into account the research on how it degrades my brain, my attention span, and my ability to focus, paper might seem better in a few more cases as well. Also, please notice that email, social media, and text messaging are incredibly inefficient for anything but sending short, purely informational messages that don't require a response. Now, they're seductive because you don't have to deal with another person live and in front of you, but typing is very, very slow compared to speech. A social media conversation that takes an hour, when read out loud, might actually just be 3 to 4 minutes of spoken words. If you think that email, social media, or texting are making you more efficient, they aren't. They're slowing you down. And smartphones, which decrease your typing speed by 30 to 40%, just make the problem even worse. What these text tools do is let you type in isolation, which may be a benefit, but it isn't efficient. I call this a technology audit, and I discuss it in the technology chapter of my book, Get It Done Guys, 9 Steps to Work Less and Do More. We're trained by a multi-billion-dollar industry to believe that anything they come out with is automatically worth using, but that just isn't true. If your technology isn't improving your quality of life in measurable ways, get rid of it. Walk down the street without your smartphone. You just might find that the experience is pretty wonderful. There's a whole world out there that's high resolution, 3D, and interactive, and it's all free. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go try out iOS 8. This is Steve Robbins. Email your topic requests and questions to getitdone@quickanddirtytips.com. I help people accelerate their careers by having fabulous resumes, LinkedIn profiles, and online presence. If you want to know more, just visit steverobbins.com. That's SteverRobbins.com. Work less, do more, and have a great life.